Last night, Donald Trump and his vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance, had a rally in Atlanta, Georgia. And as we spoke about yesterday, the rally was virtually empty by the end of it. Like, his supporters got so bored of his speech that a lot of them just went home. They were sick of Donald Trump's rambling nonsense, and the arena was virtually empty by the end of it. But in addition to this, the rally was also just terrible. Donald Trump was conspiratorial, he was lying to his followers, and he shot himself in the foot politically. So, I have some clips from this rally to show you. We'll talk about them a little bit. They're all very crazy, all very insane. But I want to touch on that last statement I just made there, that Donald Trump shot himself in the foot politically. In this crucial swing state, he thought it was a good idea to attack the popular governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, and the popular Secretary of State of Georgia, Brad Raffensperger. They're both Republicans, and they're both very popular in Georgia, a crucial swing state. I have no idea why Donald Trump thought this was a good idea, but he did it. So take a look at the clip.
That's great. And those three people are incredible. Let me give you the bad news. It's that for whatever reason, Brad Raffensperger and Brian Kemp, your governor, who I got elected, by the way. If it wasn't for me, he would not be your governor. I think everybody knows that. He's a very disloyal person, isn't he? Very disloyal. But these two are doing everything possible. Plus, your attorney general would like to see him show up and do something. But
yeah, he really said that they're disloyal, that they're trying to do everything they can to have the Republicans lose. And what that means is that they're not helping him rig an election or try to overturn it if he loses. That's what he means by that. But he really said that at this rally. Now, Donald Trump's beef with both of these men go way back. It goes all the way back to 2020 when they wouldn't help him overturn the election, all the way up till now. Even before this rally, Donald Trump and Brian Kemp got into it a little bit. Donald Trump on Truth Social posted this statement saying, quote, Brad Raffensperger has to do his job and make sure this election is not stolen. Brian Kemp should focus his efforts on fighting crime, not fighting unity in the Republican Party. That's a statement Trump put out yesterday, before his rally in Georgia. And Brian Kemp actually responded to Donald Trump saying, quote, my focus is on winning this November and saving our country from Kamala Harris and the Democrats' utter nonsense, not engaging in petty personal insults, attacking fellow Republicans, or dwelling on the past. You should do the same and leave my family out of it. So this beef has been going on for a while, and then Donald Trump got up on stage and said that further. Now, number one, it's important to note that Brian Kemp is still a coward. Like, he's still voting for Donald Trump along with Brad Raffensperger. So this stuff is spineless. It doesn't really mean anything to me. It shouldn't mean anything to you either. They're not actually going to stand up for democracy. But it's just the optics here. Like, these two Republican politicians are very popular in this very crucial swing state. If Donald Trump doesn't win Georgia, it's very difficult for him to win the election. In this crucial swing state, Trump thinks it's a good idea politically to attack the popular governor and the popular Secretary of State. I don't know who is advising his campaign, but they're doing a pretty bad job. Like, instead of advocating for unity, he instead decides to attack them and then tries to blame the division on them. This is such bad politics. And me, as a very proud Democrat, proud Biden supporter, proud Kamala Harris supporter, I'm loving it. I'm laughing to the bank when I see Donald Trump attacking his fellow Republicans and having the infighting in the Republican Party. We, the Democrats, are just sitting here watching from the outside in. We're united behind our candidate, united behind our amazing president, Joe Biden, and the Republicans are over there fighting amongst themselves in crucial swing states. It is such a disaster over on that side. And as I said, we're all laughing on the way to the bank. We're all having a great time on the Democratic Party. We're united. We're working hard. We're going to get Kamala Harris elected, and Donald Trump and the Republicans can keep doing whatever that is. So, very bad political instincts from Donald Trump. Now, aside from that clip, Donald Trump also just told a very brazen and clear lie about a recent Olympic event, I'm sure you saw, where Republicans were trying to claim that this female boxer was actually a man, and Donald Trump picked up on it at this rally and then lied to his supporters about it. So take a look.
To use the barbells, now all you have to do is look at the boxers. This young girl from Italy, a champion boxer, she got hit so hard she didn't know what the hell hit her. It's a person that transitioned. He was a good male boxer. Yeah, he was a good male boxer. And she didn't even go down. He hit her with 2 jabs, and she said, I'm out. How crazy is it? The weightlifters are great, though, because
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with what he's talking about, this picture on your screen on the left there in the red, that is Iman Khalif. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's a boxer at the Olympics. She came from Algeria, I believe, is the country that sent her to the Olympics. She's Algerian, and she's representing that country at the Olympics. Now, on the right of your screen is an Italian boxer. In this fight, Iman prevailed. She won the boxing fight after the Italian boxer had trouble with her nose, and she gave up early because the pain was so bad. But then for some reason, Republicans spun this story into an issue of the athlete being transgender, and tried to say that actually Iman Khalif is actually a man. She's not a woman, and she infiltrated women's sports. The whole culture war things that Republicans love to do. Donald Trump is now playing into it, saying that that is the case, that Iman Khalif is actually a man, except that is objectively false. A simple Google search tells us otherwise. So actually, Iman Khalif has a disorder, a sex development disorder that results in XY chromosomes and testosterone levels similar to those of male athletes. So Republicans are like, oh, that must mean she's a man. It's like, no, she's a biological woman and she's boxing in women's sports. Republicans were telling us that we have to keep women in women's sports, and then when women are in women's sports, apparently that's a problem. But Donald Trump knows that this is not the case. He knows that Iman Khalif is a woman and that she is a talented female boxer and that she's been boxing with other women her entire career, and then he's trying to spread this lie to his supporters to rile them up. It's all culture wars with Donald Trump. You notice that there's no policy in these conversations. He's never saying, you know what, this is how I'm going to make the country better. This is how I'm going to make your life better. Instead, no, he's attacking his fellow Republicans. He's attacking a woman boxer for apparently, in his eyes, being a man. It's such insanity. It just shows you the chaos that comes with Donald Trump and a possible second Trump term. I don't want this for 4 years. I don't want this on my TV for 4 years. I don't want to have to wake up every day thinking about what ridiculous statement Donald Trump made today and what leader he's beefing with now. I don't want that. And I don't think a lot of people do either. It's just insane. And to, play into this culture war with, LGBTQ plus people who are already targeted, and to try to further that targeting toward them as Donald Trump did there is really gross. It's really gross. He knows what he's doing. He's doing it anyway. And he's not talking about the issues that matter. He's making up lies. So I just had to talk about that. I just think it's so ridiculous how the Republican presidential nominee is openly lying. He knows it's a lie. He doesn't care. But in addition to, him attacking Brian Kemp and this lie, he also very much showed his age last night. He had a lot of senior moments, a lot of moments where he glitched. He had trouble with an attack line that he launched against Kamala Harris. He was trying to say that she is defunding the police and that she's going after, or the violent mobs are being enabled by her, but he couldn't pronounce defunding the police, and he also couldn't pronounce violent mobs. So take a look at that clip.
Should not stop. She said she was endorsing defund the police, and she said, violent mobs, let the violent mobs keep going.
Defunding the police and violent marbs. That's what Donald Trump just said. He also couldn't pronounce the word wrecking when he was trying to attack Kamala Harris as well. Take a look.
Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you. Appreciate it. Together we will stop Kamala Harris's nation-wrecking. I'll tell you what, when you see what she's done to our nation.
Yeah, And he also felt it was necessary to tell the crowd that he doesn't own a guitar, and he did this 3 times. Take a look.
And I don't have a guitar. But our places are bigger. We get more people than anybody.
Yeah, so all of those videos are very ridiculous and unhinged, but baked into all of these videos, embedded in these videos, is blatant Republican hypocrisy. Because if Joe Biden would have done these things while campaigning, they would have been screaming from the rooftops that he's too old and needs to drop out. Right? That he's too old, he needs to get out of the race. But since Donald Trump does it, they look the other way. They don't care. They say, no. He's fit to serve. There's no problem. What are you guys talking about? There's no problem here. Okay. And also, of course, in these videos is the hypocrisy that Donald Trump is now the oldest nominee for a party in political history at 78 years old. He would end his presidency older than Joe Biden is right now. So Republicans for months, for years, have been saying Joe Biden's age, Joe Biden's age, Joe Biden's age. And then when Donald Trump's age is showing very clearly, they're silent. See, they're silent. It was never about Joe Biden's age. That's the little secret. It was never about Joe Biden's age. They knew he was an effective president. They did everything they could to try to tear him down. And if it was really about the age, they'd be saying, oh, Donald Trump has to step down, but it was never about the age. It was always about how effective and great a President Joe Biden was. And now in these videos, you see that hypocrisy. The Republicans with Joe Biden, if he would have done these things, they would have been calling for him to drop out. When Donald Trump does these things, they cheer him on, they love him, they sing his praises, and say that, no, there's no issue. He's not too old. Don't worry about it. Yeah, he would be 82 plus by the time he ends his term. Don't worry about it. It is hypocrisy at its finest, and Donald Trump is having these moments more and more and more and more, and Republicans are more and more and more silent about it. They do not want to talk about it because the hypocrisy is so apparent to everybody that's watching. So that was Donald Trump's rally. If it feels like when I was watching some of these clips, it felt like I aged 10 years. He's so tiring. He's so ridiculous, and it's so gross what he does at these rallies, but that's just Donald Trump. So anyway, I just wanted to show you some of these clips, talk about them a little bit, the lies, the shooting himself in the foot politically, and these weird moments where he just messes up. But I'll wrap up the video there. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. We're approaching 100,000 subscribers. And of course, drop a like and comment. Let me know what you think about all this. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you're having an amazing rest of your day.